Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico.
Good morning to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live. Share the broadcast, invite your friends, and then tell them that Maiyegun today, Maiyegun is live. Now, let me tell you something, so that people don't think we are not logical enough. Nigeria is messed up. We all know that, including the pretenders that brought Nigeria to this level, right? Now, what Nigeria need, genuinely now, being sincere now, okay? What Nigeria need is for the leaders, those who claim to be leaders of, leaders of thought, whatever that means, right? To organize and call for a national dialogue. That is what is missing. These parts want to leave. That part want to leave. This one want to dominate. Those other ones want land. Everybody is working at a cross purpose because of Buhari and what Buhari has brought upon Nigeria. You see, everything when people talk about unity, you cannot beg for unity when other people are watching their children being slaughtered like common criminals, because Buhari can get away with that. If you can't organize a national dialogue among the people who make up the country, see, you are deceiving yourself. You will never beg for unity. Unity is not just a word.
Lórí Facebook, and yes, we like Lórí YouTube, and yes, we like Oh, Baba
Share the broadcast.
and yes, right. Presido Barufio, and yes, right.
1999 Constitution, the fraudulent military decree that the Fulani, Northern Fulani oligarch military put together to subjugate 200 million people to the whim and caprices of criminals, career criminals called politicians. However, now that everything is tearing apart, the best thing that should be done, like they say in Yoruba land, is àgbà ò kí ń wà lọ́jà kí orí ọmọ tuntun kí ó wọ́. I don't know it in English, but I'll try to interpret that for you. It simply means you won't have elders in the market or having an elders in a community, and then they would look away while the destiny and life of a young one is completely ruined. Their job is never to look away when things are going bad. Elders or leaders of thought. In Yoruba land, there is a saying like that. Àgbà ò kí ń wà lọ́jà kí orí ọmọ tuntun wọ́. Buhari came to remind all of us that, yes, there are Nigerians and there are also Nigerians. There are Nigerians that are more Nigerian than others. Usually, people will say that the motivational speakers, they will tell you that there is no Nigerian that is more Nigerian than the other. Buhari proved everybody wrong. If any motivational speaker is saying that to you today, he or she is lying, or maybe ignorant as well. Buhari knows that Nigeria is a place that is dominated by over 250 ethnic nationalities, meaning people of different culture, different, as different tribes, different culture, tradition, religion, trade, marriage, everything that has to do with their existence completely differs. How do you keep them together? It is by not imposing one over the other. And Nigeria has always been a place where everyone suspects one another. Yorubas are suspecting the Igbos. The Igbos are suspecting the Fulanis. The Hausas are suspecting the Ijaws. The Ijaws don't want to trust you know what I mean? That is exactly the contraption that Nigeria is. But until now, some people managed to hide these facts. They call them the red line. No politician, no matter how heartless you are, no matter how brute and crude you are, how criminally minded you are or cold-hearted you are, none of them ever did what Buhari did. What happened? Buhari came in and he made it clear by his actions and his deeds, his words, that he is coming in with his Fulani, and everyone who is a Fulani apologist will be given a chance in his government. It doesn't matter if they are qualified or not. Then they started filling them up with Fulani, Northern this, Northern that, Sokoto Caliphate, and the rest of them. They started bringing out all those who are dead people, those who have committed serious crimes against that Nigeria. I'm talking about the Abacha gang. Bringing Buhari back from death 31 years after he was kicked out by Badamasi Babangida. 31 years, Nigeria, the greedy, selfish Nigerians exhumed the dead body of Buhari to come and lead them again. And as Buhari came, he also exhumed the bodies of those who were the Jikila junta of Abacha. You know what I'm talking about? It became a different ball game entirely. The Fulanization, the Islamization, everything that people thought, oh, it won't dare that. Nobody will dare that. If it dared that, Nigeria will break. But Buhari dared every goddamn thing. And guess what? Sadly, the caliber of people that used to tell us that if you try this with us, Nigeria will break, they started giving excuses for him. So for 6 years, right, it became obvious that if your loyalty is not towards the Fulani agenda in Nigeria, then you are automatically an enemy. So that then further alienated many ethnic nationalities. It didn't just stop there, right? After filling up the entire rank and file of the proper institutions, I'm talking about democracy now, right? Institution of democracy, democratic institutions that could have worked as checks and balances on the, like executive, legislative, and then the judiciary. He filled them up with this caliber of ethnically biased, religiously biased thugs from northern Nigeria. They said he could choose anybody to work with him from anywhere. What did they do? After waging jihad, listen, what is going on in Nigeria is a jihad. Okay? It is an holy war being fought by different means, but to achieve one goal, and that goal is that Nigeria will be the final territory, and in fact will be the capital of all the Fulanis from all over the world. How can they make them become indigenous if the government doesn't pave the way for that? How? They didn't choose dialogue. Oh, listen, guys, we are planning to do this to relocate some Fulanis from Mauritius, to relocate them from Central African Republic, to relocate them from Niger, from Mali, from Chad, and all of these places, because we want to make Nigeria the headquarters of the Fulanis. They didn't say that to the rest of the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. What did they do? They, after taking over institutions that could have worked as checks and balances, right? So that if they begin to take those decisions, you would automatically expect those institutions to react and save Nigeria, because that is the fault line. If you cross it, there is no going back. It was what the retaliatory coup of 1966 brought upon Nigeria, which led to the genocide of the Biafrans by the Nigerian criminal military. It was the same. Once you cross that line, once you begin to think your own ethnic nationality is supreme over those there, and these ones are inferior to that one, that means there is no union anymore. It is a fault line that everyone tries, right, to avoid. They blame the shortchanging and marginalization of some people in their involvement in the governance of that country. They blame that on bureaucracy and so many other nonsense. It is a fault line. You don't cross it. Buhari crossed it. And then those who were supposed to challenge him, they turned around and said, he could do whatever he like. He could do whatever he like with the rest of you. He's the president anyway. And he could do what he like, is what now led to this. Terrorists are crossing the borders into Nigeria. Okay? They are entering Nigeria. And they are not just entering northern Nigeria. They have now crossed over to southern Nigeria from all parts. You have a government in place who claim to have shut the land borders, all the land borders in Nigeria. But guess what? The only land borders shut in Nigeria are all the southern borders.
because the only thing that happens in the southern border is trade. Because if you have a government that is making money from importation and the rest of that from borders, that same government must be able to provide security in those borders. Shouldn't they be able to? Now, they shut Nigerian border on paper, but it is the southern border. Kill the business as much as they can. That is jihad, economic jihad. Northern Nigeria, which is actually the 72% of the entire landmass of what makes up the entire Nigeria. 72% of Nigeria is opened for everybody to enter. Guess what is coming in from those places? Terrorists. Those who are invading communities, killing people, taking over those communities, subjecting those who they have not killed to start paying taxes to them. Just in the news today, go on Google right now and search for 500 villages have been taken over in Niger State alone. I told you, there was a time I told you, or many times I've told you, that as you are watching this video, the reason why some of those who are from southern Nigeria are still shouting one Nigeria is because the 80% of them have no idea what is actually going on in northern Nigeria. Are you following? To 80% of them, some people are just trying to destroy Nigeria, and the government is trying everything to fight it, even though Buhari is not competent. But you can't really blame him for everything. But they have no idea that it is deliberate. How deliberate? You shut all your land borders, right? Yet, there's actually no border in northern Nigeria, no border as at all. Now, more than 60% of where you can claim to be northern Nigeria today, every part that actually covers northern Nigeria today, more than 60% of those places are no longer in the control of any Nigerian government anymore. And if you don't believe it, right, you can please do a little bit of researches. Start state by state. Start from local government by local government and start reading news about this local government. And by the time you finish reading all the news about the local government from northern Nigeria, right, you will come to a tally that will shock you. Many of those places, there is no military, there is no police, there is nobody there. Those who are still there, alive, are those who have agreed, those people who have given up, like they don't believe it, they don't call police when the terrorists come. They pay taxes to them. In Niger State alone, Niger State in Nigeria, 500 communities. When you say 500 communities, we are talking about villages, towns, places where people have been displaced, completely chased out. And Nigerian government never attempts to go back there and even challenge those people. You see, before now, there was a report that in Benue State and some other part of the Middle Belt, and then especially in southern Kaduna, the terrorists that are killing people, the media continue to report it as farmers others clashes. Yeah. Therefore, underplaying underplaying what is actually going on. Farmers others clashes. But every time you see the dead people, there is no others who died. At least if they say we clash, the clash means we are fighting. In the process, you killed 200 of us. What happened to those of you that we were fighting? What happened? Does that mean that we are clashing, and not even a single one is dead? But guess what? In southern Kaduna, when this whole thing was going on, right? When they kill and ransack a village and people run away, those who survive run away, these criminals, they take over the land, take over the communities, and they rename those communities. As you are watching these videos, this video right now, there are many towns that geography told you are located in southern Kaduna. In the next few years, geography is going to tell you that those places are now owned. The names are going to change. That's the work they are doing. For terrorists crossing into the country was pretty much about how to resettle them, to then neutralize all of you claiming to be indigenous people. What makes you indigenous? You are a Yoruba man. Your ancestors, your forebearers, your forefathers, Those who came before you, many of them, they died and they were buried on the land that you are currently growing your farm. Some of your ancestors, they fought in keeping those places that you call your land today, in everywhere that made up Nigeria today, right? Your ancestors, people before you, some of them died trying to keep that place for you, so that you can say today, I am from Otropo, I am Igede, I am Ijo, I am a Yoruba man, I am from Oyo, I am an Egba man. When you read through your history, there was one time or another that those before you, right, actually died because they knew that one day you are going to come by. And when you come by, you must have a root. That root is what they want to neutralize now. How? Rather than them to unleash the military of Nigeria, the entirety of them, on the border where the terrorists are crossing from. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They went into parley with them, right? They started giving them a welcome, red carpet. Terrorists are now being welcomed into government houses. Zamfara, Niger, Adamawa, all these places. Katsina, the rest of the governors are meeting bandits. They call them bandits. Now, the government that refused to unleash military on them, you know another thing the government is doing. They started promoting they said our own solution right now to stop farmers' others clashes is to promote national livestock program. Now, that is the latest. That is the one they are pushing, which many states are already collecting money, including Imo State and Ebonyi State. As you are watching this video, they've already collected money and they have already allocated land in some local government areas in their places to set up the National Livestock Program. But do you know that that wasn't the first idea of their own settling the crisis between others and farmers? Remember I told you, they deliberately called it farmers and others clashes. So that it will look like, cows went into people's farm. Some people, they just fought. Farmers fought herdsmen. To find solution, right? Why don't you let us create cattle colony for them? So that we can just resettle them in every part of the southern Nigeria where they can rear their cows, they can have access to water, they can, they won't disturb you. Just give them land. Cattle colony. People were like, what the hell is cattle colony? They said, but there used to be grazing routes. What the hell is grazing route? Grazing route for who? For what? They started bringing all those ideas. But before then, when the killing started, they first said those who were killing people are not from Nigeria. They are from outside Nigeria. And we were like, okay, if they were from outside Nigeria, how did they cross the border into Nigeria? Okay, fine. Now, get rid of them, please. Then they came back with, you know what? We have found a solution. Okay? All these farmers and others clashes, we can make everything go away. Let us create cattle colony. What the hell is cattle colony? Okay, you don't understand that. Okay, let us create rural grazing areas so that in the communities where we have land that we can give to them, you just need to give us some thousands of acres of your land. Some of them will have to cover some of your communities. So we can relocate them there, okay, and give them money. We can build schools for them. Wait. Build, what are you talking about? You want to relocate those you said were not Nigerians, killing Nigerians in Nigeria because Nigeria couldn't keep their borders safe? You want to relocate them into Nigeria? Is that how you do it? Okay, fine. Then you want to give them land and then build the land for them, build schools for them, build hospitals for them, resettle their family members so that they can live a normal life in Nigeria. Really? Is that how you become a Nigerian? Or is that how you actually become a citizen of a country? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, now, they said, okay, you don't understand that. All right, fine. Now, you know what we're going to do? We are going to do a national livestock program. Okay, explain that to us. National livestock program. What is that? Because this is also new. What is national livestock program? Let me ask Buhari for your own education, okay, if you know it.
Livestock.
Huh?
Livestock.
National livestock.
I will talk about it. He doesn't know. He doesn't. I think he doesn't know.
These are all directed at Mr. President. So corruption, yes, let me know. He can talk for himself.
He doesn't know. He doesn't.
I want Nigerians to give you another opportunity to do another 4 years. Why?
Well,
He doesn't know.
70 years old man. But
National livestock. Even the person promoting it doesn't know. No idea. Livestock. 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 It doesn't know. It doesn't know. National livestock. Livestock. Your program. Buhari, your program. Livestock. It doesn't know. And what is that? It is the same cattle colony, grazing route, blah, 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 nonsense. To resettle people who have killed tens of thousands of indigenous people in that country. So that is when everyone now realizes that, wow, so the government is backing them. So who are we going to run to then? Let's run to the National Assembly. The National Assembly said, Buhari is doing a wonderful job. He is fighting the terrorists and is finding solution. You know what I mean? Okay, maybe we should run to the judiciary. That there is Tanko Technicality. The Babalawo Ife is also a plane driver. That is the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Like expectedly, they've taken over all the institution. Okay, if all these guys are just going to make us look so stupid, what is going on? How can you say people who have cows, you have to use your own money? You can't build schools for your own people. You can't even build hospitals that can take care of you in 6 years. But you want to spend billions to resettle criminals who have killed your people. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Where is the Attorney General of Nigeria? Malamu. How? That one came out and he said, yes, we have to find the old grazing route. What is going on? The discrimination now got to a point where people said, you know what? We are going to start defending ourselves. We will not take this. It's not going to happen. That became a treasonable offense. How dare you to say Buhari is there, National Livestock? It's not going to happen. Now, the Nigerian military, the Nigerian police, the Daura Secret Service, all of them that could not detect the sponsor of Boko Haram, that could not prosecute any single Boko Haram or bandit terrorist in Nigeria, suddenly discovered that #revolution now can overthrow a government. Yoruba Nation now is giving Buhari diarrhea and he's been purging. Biafra now has been giving him insomnia. He's unable to sleep. He's become a ghost, exactly who he is, a lifeless Buhari. Now, all of these are now enemies of Nigeria. They must be crushed. They must be crushed. And that becomes the sing-song of the Buhari idiot, the Buhari Danes, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Denotus, the humbled slaves, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, and the entire clan of the Cyberbarians. They must be stopped. They must be killed. Hello. Why the terrorists killing them are being seen, being given certificate of Repentancy. Imagine a killer or killers on the payroll of a state government to the tune of 100,000 naira a month. The guy no even get joy. 100,000. That one is for what? Tabadadi or what? Or a Konogo one. He collected the money twice. Baba just went back to his business. Somebody that can kidnap 20 people, collecting 10 million if it's been nice. Because, sometimes, all these kidnappers as well, right? When they kidnap, sometimes they just make it a black market. Quickly. Pay 10 million, maybe we'll release you, or else we'll transfer you to the stock market, so where the big boys play. Now 100 million each of you. So you brought him down because you said he repented. He won't face any justice. And you start paying him 100,000 naira. You gave him a car. And you said he went back to start kidnapping. As our people will say, I share we do marriage. Waiting go. Now leave. Boko Haram terrorists will do repentancy. Waiting do. He just go on a short sabbatical leave. He will come back to his business. That is what they have made insecurity business in Nigeria. It's now a big one, to the point that those who have now seen all of this destruction all across, some of them are still preaching unity. And we said, listen, stop preaching unity. Unity is not just a word. Unity is an action. You have to give in to something. Impunity, all of this, profiling and the rest of them, they cannot be considered as the prerequisite or the requirements that mold unity. They don't mold anything. Where you are, classified as a criminal for saying no, you can't defend yourselves. It is a crime to do that. You will be caught and you'll be alleged to have to be involved in gun running, in terrorism, while the real terrorists are getting airtime. Listen to their national national coordinator, Sheikh Osama bin Gumi.
Sheikh, you seem to approach this with a sense that these bandits are victims. Exactly why? And what are their demands really? What do they really want? Because in spite of your negotiations, attacks continue.
Attacks have lessened. It's just one case you have of the Kagara boys. Without it, there is a drastic change. We have seen absolute drastic change in Zamfara, in Sokoto State, where negotiations are going. So you don't take sporadic cases and just, explode it. Even the Maiduguri incident here I don't think it's a big threat, because the military has surrounded the town. There is no more continuous bombardment. It's just sporadic attacks. Shouldn't frighten people. I think the military should be on top of the situation. But yet, negotiations are very useful in seeing that we get these boys or youth to get sense into their head and just admonish them and show them the fear of God. And it also works.
Okay, so in terms of what they want, what exactly did they say to you will make them surrender their weapons? Because no matter how you look at it, they're criminals.
You see, you are emphasizing on criminality. I don't know who, even the press are criminals too, because they are putting fire into, they're putting oil into fire. These people are listening to you. You see, you don't address them as criminals if you want them to succumb. Youth are ready to put down their weapons. Now they are hearing you are calling them criminals. How do you want them to cooperate? So you have to show them they are Nigerians and that they should not hurt children and that they should be law-abiding, they should be good. This is the language we want to hear the press to assist us in getting the boys. You see, when we talk with them with a nice wordings, they are ready to put their weapons down. They are ready to listen to us.
It shock you? It don't shock you again. If you are not putting on your shock absorber, maybe you have actually not subscribed onto Maiyegun's Diary Politico yet. Okay? Nothing shocks us anymore. That is the position. That is exactly what even the government wants you, the media, to do. Don't say that. Let's be nice to them. They have families too. They have children. Let's tell them not to kill children. Let's tell them not to kill. Let's talk to them nicely so that they can lay down their weapon. That is the reality. That is the unity they want you to abide to. As if that is not enough. The disgraced Emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, the same guy who helped them, nobody actually paid attention then. When he was the CBN governor, he was under probe of mismanagement and corruption. He was under probe. He was about to be sacked. The guy played and used the card of his northern, political oligarchy. He decided to raise an alarm, a false one. $50 billion is missing. NMPC couldn't account for it. Jonathan don't steal the money. Great. Laya Muhammad and gang, they grabbed it. Last, he turned it down and he said, well, it is 12 billion. Later they said it's 8 billion. For now, whether not 8 billion, whether not 12 billion, or whether not 20 billion, or whether not 50 billion, or no jara, no shishi is considered missing, and they couldn't put down any evidence, right? But nobody needs evidence so much in Nigeria. If the likes of Sanusi says something is true, but the people who actually know the fraud, right? They know him. He is from Kano. And Kwakwanso, among those who are putting together APC, Egbekegbe arrangements, Kwakwanso was in PDP. He was about to join them in APC. And this is a very big fish, big news. We cannot let Goodluck Jonathan punish this guy, even if he looted money, right? So let us find something for him. The former emir then, Adebanjo, just died. We don't know what happened to the old man. The man died during the process, right? Immediately, the Goodluck Jonathan sacked him, and he was about to be arrested. Kano State Governor Kwakwanso automatically just declared him as Emir of Kano. Meanwhile, it was a political one because they have the association plan in Kano that alienated many. But Kwakwanso was governor. It was politically expedient then. It was, in fact, politically valuable if they can appoint one of the top traditional leaders from northern Nigeria, from Kano, Emir of Kano, is going to support APC. Egbekegbe. That's enough credibility we need. And indeed, they got it. He became Emir. Buhari became president because APC took over the power. But after 4 years, when Kwakwanso's term finished, Ganduje, I'm talking about Kano the Kano State Babariga Mobile Banking, the CEO of the mobile banking, Babariga Mobile Banking in Kano, that is Gandola. Gandola became governor after Kwakwanso in 2015. They didn't go along too far because this guy who became emir for political reasons, just to shield him, right, is not going to stop talking, right? Even though within a short while, he has already started stealing money from the same palace in Kano. And that one gave them another compromise on him. Jonathan has his own. He didn't use it. They have their own. They will use it. Gandola will not let anybody lord it over him. They ran into trouble. Gandola removed him sharp. So many people didn't believe that would happen. Now, the ex-emir found his old mate, El Rufaya of Kaduna, who also became governor through the old coup they did then in 2015. So he received solace there. And Kaduna state government under El Rufaya took over the upkeep of Sanusi, former CBN governor, now live on pension and stipend from Kaduna, his old friend. He lives in Lagos now. But guess what? After all of this whole madness that they brought upon themselves, and the result of that has brought Nigeria to this division, among those who are scared that if power should return to the southern Nigeria, these guys may break Nigeria. And that's it. There's nothing they will be able to do, except if they decide to want to go to war. But they won't have control of anything, right? The guy came out, instead of him to, at least for the first time, to come and say the truth. Nigerians, you know what? This whole thing don't pafuka. Let us, all of us, come together and decide how we are going to break up. Make everybody just live in peace. But guess what? As usual, because Nigeria feed him, Nigeria clothe him, his family, his children, everybody, his luxurious lifestyle that he's living, pretending to still be an emir in Lagos, right? That is funded by Nigeria. If Nigeria break up, who is going to pay for his luxurious lifestyle? So why won't he preach unity? Disgraced former central bank governor of Nigeria.
I was brought up to believe in Nigeria, and I continue to believe in this country. And I also think that there are a number of weaknesses in the kind of arguments that are being put forward. First of all, you'll hardly find a country in the world that is homogeneous. The United States is a country of immigrants. You've got blacks, you've got white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, you've got Irish Catholics, you've got American Indians, you've got Hispanics, and you've got immigrants from all over. The United Kingdom is England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland are not one people. Switzerland, you've got different groups. The French have their Basques, the Spanish have their Corsicans. Russia is a country made up of many ethnic groups, so is China. And, you know, if you think of Nigeria, what part of Nigeria is homogeneous? And what part of Nigeria has been homogeneous over its entire history? Take Hausa land. People talk about Hausa Fulani. Before the Sokoto Jihad, Hausa land was divided into a number of kingdoms. They spoke the same language, they had the same religion, but they were at war with each other. Kano was at war with Katsina. Katsina was at war with Zaria. Zaria was at war with Gobir, and so on. People thought of this as Kanawa, Katsinawa, Zazagawa. The idea of there being Hausawa, one group, came later. That entire group was put together, really, by the Sokoto Jihad, which put them under one flag. If you come to Yoruba land, I mean, you've got the Ijebu, the Ekiti, the Akoko, the Owo, and until recently, Ife and Modakeke were at war with each other. If you go to the Niger Delta, the Ijo, the Ishekiri, the Edo, the Asaba, and Middle Belt, Tiv, Idoma, Yoruba, Ibira. There is no part of this country that is homogeneous. Into how many parts are you going to slice this country in order to have a homogeneous nation? So let us first of all understand what we're talking about. The challenge is not in our diversity. The challenge is not in our complexity. The challenge has been in the inability of the leadership to forge a nation. And we've made a lot of progress. If you go back, when I was growing up, when I was in King's College, under Yakubu going after the Civil War, we had gotten to a point where we were one nation, where we were thinking of ourselves as one country, where people believed in Nigeria as one Nigeria. And now what happens is that you tend to have, from time to time, certain people in elite circles, because Nigeria, the state is a rentier state, the state is a site for the extraction of rent and for corruption. You have different class fractions of the elite who profit from creating a base for themselves. Look, if you have a northern president, how does that affect the poor northerner on the street who is a farmer, who is unemployed, or who is begging, or who is out of school? And if you have a southern president, how does that benefit the poor southerner? Just think about it. How many times have you had presidents from the north and from the south, or from one ethnic group and the other? And how has that affected the vast majority? Now, there might be a small group from their ethnic group who are from their circle who profit financially from their being in power, but outside of that group, in what way has the life of the man on the street changed because somebody from his ethnic group is in office? Now, these guys just use the ethnicity as a platform for their negotiation for political space. If I want to be the president of Nigeria and I say she come from the north, I eliminate southern competition. Then I want it to be a Muslim northerner. I eliminate Christian competition. Then I start thinking about the core north of Hausa Fulani. And what happens is you eliminate all the competition, you get in there. Now, when I get in there, how does that affect everyone from my ethnic group? So this is identity politics. And the sad thing is that the rest of the world recognizes the dangers of identity politics. The rest of the world recognizes that individuals appropriate these identities, whether they're religious or ethnic, for the purpose of their own selfish personal interest. But Nigerians follow. Nigerians emotionally believe in it. I see every day, oh, presidency must come from the south. Presidency must come from the north. And I ask, we've had presidency from the north and from the south. Which part of the country has been better off because of the provenance of the president? Now, are we not missing the point? We have a constitution. The constitution talks about a federal character. We need to deepen the definitions of diversity in that constitution. And why is it only about where they come from? Why is it about ethnicity? Why aren't we talking about the women? Why aren't we talking about the youth? What kind of diversity do we want in our system? Why is diversity only about states of origin? And why is it the presidency that we're concerned about? We have ministers from every state in the federation. What are they doing? If the president is from the north, the vice president is from the south. If the president of the south, the vice president is from the north. That is the presidency. It's north and south. What has it done? I think we need to start asking more serious questions. Who is the...
Asking who? More serious question. He's talking about diversity. And he's talking about what has the president from the south done. And what has the president from the north done? Especially when we talk about how they rule that Nigeria. This is what he's talking about, the homogeneity or whatever nonsense he's trying to spew. People always have their own indigenous and ancestral connection to where they come from. No matter how much grammar nonsense they speak, because that's what they do. They speak it in a way that they confuse you. And you'll be there doing like, all that nonsense. Look at that bed sheet he's put on over his head, yeah? Some said sometimes when they eat too much and eat them, they yarn dust. He's a CBN governor, right? And it's not different. Obviously, it's not different from those there. Educated bandits. What people are saying is that you're talking about diversity. You brought fraud. And many of you are hiding behind all this grammar to continue to tell people that it doesn't matter anymore wherever the president comes from. Because as you see him so, if he they wear the wrapper, put the bed sheet on his head, pretending to be an emir, listen guys, Sanusi is in free market. So if they have any shocker for you, right, it's going to be their shocker, since it's not an emir, but pretending to be an emir. Okay? People know where they come from. And there is no grammar, this and that. Listen, if that what's waiting I'll show you now, too much for you to handle, I believe this one easier. No stress yourself. If Nigeria break up, now like this it go be. And you see all those places, yeah? They are people who have one or two things in common. And the proximity and the affinity they have to one another will make them coexist, because they have been coexisting for thousands of years. Yes, they have been. Before the existence of Nigeria. So don't teach us our history, okay? Don't. So if you want to keep your Sharia knot and the rest of that, you can do whatever you like with that. That's exactly what we are talking about. Okay? So people like Sanusi should not confuse you. If Nigeria go break, now so it go be. And you see that map where we just broke down, where I just broke down there for you, right? This is where everybody that will feel it. See, everyone that will fill it up, they are from this top, right? This top to down, like that. Eh? Everybody know where they come from. They don't use diversity nonsense because Buhari came and he made us realize that you are deceiving yourself. If you believe they believe it, what is federal character? Ordinarily, if that is honored, right, it will bring inclusion. But what do you have in NNPC? When you get there, they say you go to say you de Kano. If you go to Lagos airport, if you go to Lagos seaport, if you go to anywhere that you know, immigration offices in all over the country, all over the region, you go to say na Kano or na Zamfara you dey. And these are a bunch of racketeers, 419 criminals who have been recruited into those institutions. They've corrupted the entire place. And guess what? They point the fingers at others. If Nigeria was right, who the hell is Sanusi? You will only be reading about him maybe in the papers or online. Same way you are reading about al-Bashir of Sudan. Same way you are reading about all these people from Niger, from Chad. And sometimes you'll be like, hey, so somebody where they speak English come from that place. Oh, boy, this one hear English well. Okay, let's listen. That's how this Sharia knot would have been. If not, Zamfara, that is under lock and key. They call it lockdown. It's been for days, I mean for weeks now, if not months. Yeah. Their governor, after paying Bandits, is now in America. He's been in America for over 2 weeks now because his wife gave birth to his baby. And he's been there. If una want die for Zamfara, die for Zamfara. Sharia must prevail. Even though many of them are always in London now, trying to pretend that na noise we they make. That guy was there granting interview talking about if Nigeria break. Now because more people are beginning to see through the fraud and they can't pretend any longer. And that's why we said, you see, those who actually love Nigeria should begin the process of calling for a national conference. Now, this national conference has nothing to do with people coming there to say, oh, this is what we want to do. This. No. The national conference is that you will now outline table of events, how Nigeria is going to get a new constitution that will have the input of every ethnic nationality from every part of that country, right? To say their own terms and conditions. If they still want to be part of Nigeria, and whoever doesn't want to be part of Nigeria anymore, let them go. Now, put that together, or else. Now, on the road, many people will be picking themselves. Because you see the people they are attacking now, we are going to fight back. And that fighting back is the example of what you are now seeing in Eastern Nigeria. It is escalating. Politicians think they can use that. And as they are carrying out all the assassination right now in the Eastern Nigeria, the bottom line is that they are pointers to Nigeria is ending. Now, they believe they can still pretend and continue to tell you that, well, don't worry, they are just making noise. However, we saw them in London. They sent delegates to go and see Tinubu in London. So Tinubu is still in London. All of you, the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, the humbled slaves and the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons and the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers and the Mumu lecturers, your Tinubu says he is going through therapy. I don't know, maybe it's for emotional therapy because none of you even know what is going on with him. He's already had 2 surgeries and he's remaining in London where he has now turned out to be a photo, right? So Tinubu is in London and they are telling you that you should wait for another ghost to rescue you from the pit of hell that Buhari has dug you in. Yeah? So we call that that Buhari is in London. Tinubu is in London. And he has turned to photo where everybody go to from Nigeria now every week. They send northern delegates. They send southern delegates. They send Lagos delegates, Ogun delegates, Ondo delegates, Ekiti delegates. Even from everywhere. And the delegation continue to come to London like they are going to they are going for pilgrimage. Are you with me? To the Holy Land, to go and see the mannequin in London Museum.
Nigeria president now photo. Everybody go snap photo with her. Say our president they snap photo with the picture from Archbishop of Canterbury. Hey, snap photo with the Rogers. He snap photo with this one. Now president now photo on a vote. Your president is now a picture. Photo. Not be juju be that. Not be when our fathers die for each other and we they care for them, keep them for house, they pour libation. You lose friend and prayer. Answer it.
No, not anymore. Alhaji Asari, not anymore. Tinubu is now photo. But there's a good news. If nobody, I know you are all praying for him to come back. Ashiwaju Jaga Bandits. It was in London. It was so bad, eh? They sent some people from Lagos. They said they are, I don't know, whatever they are, I don't care, right? So they are lawmakers, House of Assembly members or something. So they all moved to London. There were many. And they now organized to bring Tinubu out so that he can come and meet them because they can't all go inside the place he's been locked in, right? And somebody said, Maiyegun, do you know that these guys, that thing you always say, that if there's anyone that actually hates Nigeria, they are the people that call themselves your leaders. Because if you love your country, you will never treat it that way. Well, you don't treat something you like or love the way those who claim to be the leaders of Nigeria have treated Nigeria. Apart from the fact that they call him Godfather, and those who are dying on top of Okada or dying from the stray bullet from the police, those who are, and they are dying not because they didn't take them to the hospital, but because there's nobody to take care of them or there's no money to pay for their medical bills, so they eventually die. The people they call leaders, whenever they feel sick, they will fill their private jets. They will fly down to any part of the world where they can access the best medical care that money can buy. So Tinubu, who is bragging to have made people to build a mega city. They said Lagos is mega city. It is the best city, facility, blah, 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 nonsense. But people actually know that Lagos is not mega city. Lagos is actually mega shitty. Apology to my Ibadan friends and foes. Mega shitty. I actually love to call it mega slum. There is no single hospital that can take care of a man who they call their leader that is coming to rescue Nigeria, led a place that is the richest state in the entire country, Lagos State. And he has been in charge of everything that happened in that state for the past 21 years. But guess what? There is no single clinic that could treat him, except in London. Now, he is here. So how do you then say, whatever is wrong with him as an old man, yeah, your grandfather or your grandmother, who probably is of the same age like him, like him, right? Tell me, do you really think your grandfather, your grandmother, your father can have the same access to the same health care that Tinubu have access to in London? Do you think they will have the same access to that? Of course they won't. You know they can't. The medical care that Tinubu will get in the UK, your own parent in Nigeria will never have the same opportunity because Tinubu stole what could have made that happen. And he bought that for himself. Where anytime he needs the help, all he needs to do is what? Fill his private jet. And they take him everywhere, like Buhari. So the same Buhari that is in charge of a government of a country of 200 million people, and for 6 years, there is nobody in his government that could say the same hospital we take Buhari to in London. How much you take build down? How much does that hospital cost? And guess what? If they give them the price, it is something they can build in Nigeria within 2 years. No joke. Now, that same Buhari, waiting concern, whatever is wrong with him, he couldn't take care of it in Nigeria. They have to bring him here. Now, do you now say those people love Nigeria? Tinubu came here, not even when he changed your naira, Lagos money, to our own British pounds. I don't care whatever is wrong with him. The same treatment that Tinubu is getting, spending your Lagos money privately, changing it to pounds, making it, you know what I mean? The same medical thing, whatever he's getting there, I am going to get it for free in the UK. Did you know that? I don't care what is wrong with him, right? Whatever is wrong with him, or any medical thing is undergoing now that I call therapy. If I need similar medical procedure in this country, in this UK, I am going to get it for free. If any member of my family should need such, I am going to get it for free. I don't even want to tell you about how much the health facility in the UK actually helped my family. I don't want to say much on that. You know why? Because many of you are living it. That's why I'm so upset with you, the Mumu Madus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, who sit abroad, call yourself abroadians. You are loving Nigeria from abroad. I don't care whatever Tinubu is getting. I don't care how you see Tinubu. The same healthcare facility somebody built here that I am working and I'm paying tax for, I will get it without having to rob you, without having to become a beggar online, without having to look for people to help me. No, I don't have to. If I need it, I will get it. He came to the UK, change your money. And when they decided to go and, those ones who come from Nigeria, they also change your naira to pound sterling. And they are here in the UK. They decided to come and host their photo Tinubu. And they didn't see any Nigeria or any Lagos or any Nigerian restaurant in the entire vicinity to take him to. They had to take him to somewhere else. But anyway, now your money then they spend. And as they pray for them, Tinubu say, thank you.
Guys, yeah.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I wish you all safe journey.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Excellency.
You see? They don't they call him Mr. President. Another photo in the making. May God no allow them. May them kill you. So I'm saying this to all of you, the Buhari idiots, the side barbarians. May God no allow them. May them kill you. But that is the incoming photo. Not everybody is agreeing with that. Back in Abuja yesterday. Oh boy, now Buhari must go.
Let's get together. Buhari must go. Buhari.
You know that I'm so what do you want to do now? You go sit down about the blessing. Go and sit down. Too close to
Abuja yesterday. So was Oshun. The OA students were out as well. So was Lagos and so many other places yesterday when Nigeria was supposed to be celebrating 61st anniversary. Anyway, I just thought I should tell you that begging for unity is not going to cut it for anyone. Intimidation, harassment, and all this threat of killing and kidnapping and the rest is not going to deter anyone. The people are now asking that the right thing to do is to begin the process of national dialogue, or else, Mokuna de prepare what is coming will even probably shock you, but it won't shock us. I'm going to take calls, okay? I'm going to look for my phone, and I'm going to connect that, right? Excuse me, did somebody say no voice? Do you have problem with your audio? If you have problem with your audio, kindly let me know, please.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n ní ràn.
Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun General.
Yes, sir.
Iṣẹ́ takuntakun.
Oluwakushe. Your name, sir, and where you are calling from?
Our Yoruba nation,
Okay, our Yoruba nation.
I'm up north, not far from you, just 2 hours away from you, you know.
You must try and be around on Sunday for the Yoruba Nation rally in Glasgow. Please.
Hopefully.
If you are off, on Sunday, it's on Sunday, 12 to 3.
Hopefully, I will come. That will be my first time in Glasgow.
We did it. It will be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm always coming to car to work, so you know, this is not far.
Well, but you want to contribute to the program tonight, so yeah, at least we can have that. So
what I will just say is, you see all these people, someone sort of what the current government, they will not be talking one.
That doesn't get sense.
All this, without saying Nigeria should be like this, is the one we should be this. They've all these northern people, they've now realized that, look, if we leave the oil well that they all been using to brag, say that they have money, they have this Biafra. Once Biafra stand or the Dua stand, everybody will now control their resources.
That's right.
Those people that have oil well at all this Otedola, Alakinja, Awoni Kano, they will just cut the pipe because now it will now be illegal. So they are fighting for these things not to go, and they are attacking the Biafra so much because they know that once that thing is put in place, things like that now will make them worthless and they will not have money again.
Exactly. They will be vulnerable.
They will be vulnerable. So things will be back to normal. And they are very, I don't understand where people that are even in Nigeria, they can't say that. Okay, why is your president coming abroad to collect treatment? And your so-called Tinubu coming to London to, collect treatment. Let them give us the address that they are staying in London. Can I visit one? Can I lucky one now? I want to ask them a question. Why? But they are very scared. You understand? They will come here. They will be, hiding.
Exactly. They will be hiding from public, like criminals.
Yeah, they are criminals. There are so many places, Nigerian restaurants or Nigerian hangouts you can do. Come. There are 805 in London.
They couldn't find any because they won't want you to mob them.
Exactly. If they know that they've done well, visit those places and come out. But you know that you've not done well, so you're moving about with a convoy. You're looking around, and people are trying to save you. Okay, those people are not there now. They are gone. They come out. But one day, Koiki will catch them. And when they catch them,
I know.
So
Thank you.
I'm on a lookout for the one. And then number two, they ain't got to rest on the case. One, these people, and we will treat them like we should be treating those so-called Nigerian rulers as Eronko.
That's right.
And you know the same way that they have any little thing they will cock their gun, any little thing they will send police to come and arrest you. They will send army. Anything they will just send bandits and send everything. Those people now, the same way they are treating people should now retaliate, whether in a chemical form, àbí wọ́n máa ní C4 ni tó máa bàtàyé wọn jẹ́. Àwọn tó wá ṣiṣẹ́ fún olórí burúkú ìtọ́jú àwọn olówó ìtọ́jú kúkú wọn tọ́jú alágbàfọ̀ tó ń fọṣọ fún wọn. This is the time tó láti máa pa wọ́n díẹ̀ sí. Ká máa rán wọn lọ sí slow death kó tó di pé wọ́n ti fẹ́ wọ.
Kó tó di pé wọ́n pa gbogbo wa.
You understand? So nígbà tó bá da slow poison ló ń jẹ wọn àbò gbé nǹkan sínú aṣọ wọn tó ẹ pé wọ́n wọ̀ tó ń wúkọ́ ìtọ́ tún gbé jet lọ sí London tó dúró sí London tó para wọn sí London tó kú náà wọn dead. Aráyè sí mi nǹkan yẹn. And then everybody will now go.
They are pushing us there. So that's why we are saying they better begin national dialogue now before it's completely out of hand.
Because they are Eronko. You know, Eronko,
they will never listen.
They will never dialogue. Instead, they will be playing with people's life. They will keep playing politics with people's life. Oh, this one is Igbo, this is Yoruba, this one is Muslim. They will keep playing politics. And we want to go after Yoruba, one language, one culture, one heritage. You come to England, you speak English, you see an English person, you do this, you do that. You know, you can have your own small community, Yoruba community, and we have them.
Of course.
If you go to East London, you have the Pakistan, the Indians, everybody has their own community.
The communities, exactly.
Abide by the rules and regulation. So this is what we want. You know, we want our own nation. When you come to the airport, they speak Yoruba, everything is there. If you go to our banks and everything.
And the question, right? The question people ask is that too much to ask for?
It's not too much to ask, but the things that they are benefiting, you understand? You that you live in Kano now, you have oil well in Biafra land. Who gives you that authority? The people in Ogoni land and all this that they can't even fish. You've destroyed all their ways of funding, of getting money. You've destroyed it, you've neglected them, they've campaigned. Now, the best thing is to treat them also like animals. Since they have dedicated people to, relegated people to being an animal.
Yeah.
So now, if you want to give, let's give them 5,000. You know, it's like okay, let's say okay,
just to survive.
Too much, you know, exactly. This cow has been making too much noise. Okay, let's just open this thing and give him grass to eat. When he eats grass, he'll be fine for another 2 days. And we'll cage him again. So those are they are treating people now like animals, and the people that are treating like animals now, they need to now wake up and find solutions. There are many things that you can do. You don't even need to leave. Fly drone, you cannot jacket down. Before you know go on like fly. What solutions? I want
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't they cook and listen. They should listen and they should start working now. And the people need to start coming together and discussing it, you know, and literally doing something. Because if they don't do anything that will harm them, you know, these people will continue to be playing politics with their life, and they need to start now. We need our nation. Yoruba needs their own, Igbo needs their own, and everybody needs to stand on their own and control their own mineral resources. As for all our obas in Yoruba land, because nígbà tí wàhálà bá ṣẹlẹ̀, orí wọn làwọn fi ṣí Pepsi tó bá yá olórí burúkú tó wà.
Adé wọn la máa fi ṣí kí ló ti ń pè é Grace la máa fi ṣí Grace. Thank you so much, Baba. Let me take other calls.
A máa fàdé wọn mú ẹmu.
A máa fi mẹ́mu. Ìyẹn àwọn ọba tó bá continue láti máa gbà bọ̀dẹ̀ fún wa.
Exactly, because bàbá wọn ṣe Nàìjíríà. So òyìnbó lè wá pẹ̀tọ̀ fún wa. Torí olórí burúkú tó bá ń fún yín ní oil well, tó ń fún yín mọ́tò 2021. Mọ́tò tàbí ọlá gùn ní kíní, o lè gún rẹ̀
mọ́ ní. O lè gún mọ́ sí. Baba,
why are you now?
Let me take other calls, please. Yeah, because other people are on the line too, just to manage the time. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Okay, thank you so much. You know, that's a good one. We could go on and on and on, but in order to manage the time, yeah, let's manage the time. Hello there.
Maiyegun General.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
I am very fine, and thanks for asking. How are you?
Oluwaseun, thank God. My name is Tunde, and I'm calling from Texas.
Sati from Texas. Why is everything in T's?
Yes. I've tried severally to reach you.
And finally you did.
I'm a congregant of the Temple of Truth.
You are so welcome, brethren.
Thank you very much for a job well done.
Thank you, sir.
The Lord will bless you and bless your family.
Amen. And yours too.
Nigeria is a crime scene and it's a heartache. I'm also working to keep talking because all of us have to be talking.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, the country is dead, no doubt about it. They keep saying one indivisible because Nigeria is a place where they borrow everything, but they don't borrow the spirit. We borrow the presidential system of government from America, but we did not borrow the spirit. Because they are mischievous people. Nigeria is designed to fail.
No doubt.
It's designed only to profit people at the corridor of power. They have deliberately impoverished the people so that they can think no more. And right now, an average Nigeria has a psychological disorder, one way or the other, that everything abnormal is seen from a normal perspective. Right now in Nigeria, they justify the reason why they are suffering.
Amazing.
I've been in UK, here I am in US. You see construction of flyovers everywhere. There is no billboard as to who is doing it. There has never been any advert on the television that this governor is doing this. That is what they are elected to do. And unfortunately, Buhari is behaving as if in 1983 when he took over, that can be forgivable because it was a military era. He was ruling. But the worst case is that he came through an election. He begged the people, whether they rig it or not. He begged the people. And people went under harsh weather, queue for a long time to vote. And it was taken to Now, this same Buhari forgot that he is the employee of the people. They use the tax of the people to pay his allowances and his salary and his gallivanting up and down, including his medical bills. Right now, he sees himself as God and not as an employee. I listened. I didn't have time on the Independence Anniversary Day because I was even annoyed. But I stumbled on the speech on the internet, and I was so annoyed because the only thing he is saying right now is that people who are asking for secession, separatist group, is going to deal with them. Igbo and Anu, they are being sponsored even by some people in the National Assembly. He should tell us, those who are sponsoring Boko Haram and the bandits,
that's the question everybody was expecting.
If he knows those who are sponsoring Kanu and Igbo, he should also tell us those in his government and those in the National Assembly that are sponsoring the S-men as well as the Boko Haram and Iswa. But what is he talking about? I was so much disappointed because he is not a leader. He does not even qualify to be a leader of even a village group, not to talk of a country.
Some said you can't shouldn't even be a leader of a WhatsApp group, sir. Some said somebody like that cannot be made a leader of a WhatsApp group.
He lack all kinds of leadership skills. He lack everything. He is not a good listener. He does not believe in negotiation.
He doesn't.
People are agitating. You are not asking why are they agitating. You are not calling them to listen to them. And I ask the question, if any of his sons or any of his daughter, if they disagree with any principle or any of them feel marginalized in his home, will he say they should kill that child? Now, people are saying we are marginalized in this first nation, this geographical entity, mere geographical expression. Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned, is not a nation, it's a country. It does not have citizens, it only has inhabitants. Nigeria takes everything from the people, ruin people's destiny, and give nothing back to them.
Nothing back.
Nothing back. And he is there on the account that he was elected by the people, and he is messing up everything. I want to believe that God wants to use him to liberate us. And that is why he is behaving the way he is behaving.
Thank you, sir.
Unfortunately, I think he will be the last person that will rule Nigeria.
Amazing. Some said that he is doing a great job breaking up Nigeria.
That nation has come to stay.
Thank you, sir.
And we are not part of Nigeria anymore.
Thank you.
Maiyegun, I'm so happy to talk to you today.
I am happy.
And I want to give other people a chance. I want to give them a chance to speak.
Sir. Sati from Texas. I hope this will be a regular now. I would love to hear from you again, sir. You have a good one over there.
Definitely, I will keep joining and calling.
Thank you, sir. You have a good one. I have another caller on the line. Hello there.
Yeah, this is Osita.
Osita. It's good to have you again tonight, sir.
Good to have you, my brother.
How are you?
May the good Lord continue to bless you all.
Amen. And you too.
Yeah. You know,
now you have the floor.
Now, you know, concerning your broadcast yesterday, your broadcast yesterday was a holistic word. That's to tell you that they are listening. They are all listening.
They are.
And whosoever that tells you that, nothing, you just shout and shout and shout, nothing will happen, nothing will happen. Believe me, that person is just lying. Look at the video you played today, Sanusi was talking about. Look at the videos that you've been playing. Kaduna, Little Finger, that little man.
El Rufaya.
He talks about it. Look at Gumi talking about the North, the Fulani, the Fufude, they are talking more about it than any other part of the country. It is no longer a discussion, it's a conversation now.
It is.
But don't worry. With time, the whole world is going to start talking about it. We'll have the same conversation. Softly, kill monkey. That's what everybody says.
Now, so that the talker.
It's a gradual process.
It is.
Before you have a seed has to be planted. But this seed that has been planted is not just seed that has been planted. It has germinated and is already producing fruit. The harvest is what we are waiting for.
That's right.
We will get there.
We will get there.
Either anybody believes or you don't believe. That's what I used to tell people. If I talk to you once about this thing, I don't want to talk to you about it twice anymore.
Not anymore.
Because at the end of our conversation, I will always tell that person, either you support it or you don't support it. Either you believe it or you don't believe it. That is what the good news stands for. The truth will always liberate people.
Absolutely.
But I look at people. Some people will even still come upon this program and say, by the time Tinubu and his boys, they change, they will do this, they will do that. If they like, they change. If they like, they don't change. It changes nothing. And it doesn't change the perception that the society has already had about him and his project.
That's right.
He is the architect of what is happening right now.
He is.
Other people have played their rules. Now, this generation is playing their rules too. But when things start happening this way, you would know that it's ordained of God. Because when bad people are being raised, equally better people are raised as well.
As well.
And the better people is the crop of youth that we have. Like I keep telling people, put down that armor of division. Put on that armor of God, which is the truth. Stand as one. We will preach this message, even when they have their guns.
Yes.
But our voices alone.
That's right.
Will speak louder than their guns.
Always.
It is right there in the Bible.
Yes.
When the children of Israel, they didn't have anything to fight with, but God told them, you sing and dance around the wall, and you'll see what will happen. Our voices is what God has given to us. No man can take it away from us.
No.
Our voices is our weapon.
Yes.
And there is something that people don't understand. As far as God says for good, God is the epitome of kindness, of goodness, of grace. There is no way that the evil will overcome the righteous.
It never did overcome. Never. And it will never happen.
Never. For the fact that the sitting vice president of that Janjaweed Republic said, oh, when good people come on board, the people are happy. But he forgot that they said there is not going to be, the darkness will never overcome the light. It is light that overcomes that.
No way.
We will stand as truth. And God knows in heaven that we are fighting the right cause. We will never give up.
That's right.
We will never give up.
We won't.
No going back.
Thank you.
They cannot overrun us.
No.
Thank you, my brother.
God bless you, Osita. You see, number is a game of number. And let me tell you something. Like Osita said, the more we continue to do this, the more we continue to get more people on board. Once we have the number, right, that's it. And we are getting the number so far. Hello there.
Maiyegun General.
Yes, sir. Ahmed.
Yes, Maiyegun.
How are you today?
I'm fine. Make a wish you happy independent.
See, I was about to post it on Maiyegun's diary that, I want to say thank you to all my friends because none of them wished me happy independence. And that means I still have friends. Please don't ruin it. It's just 24 hours from yesterday, right? Please don't wish me one, please. All right, man. Fire on. Ahmed.
When you posted that yesterday, so I saw some idiots, like the way they were commenting.
Now the frustration. Listen, Nigeria don't happen to so many people, Ahmed, right? That every time you see them on social media, that is their therapy, right? When they come on Maiyegun's diary Politico, some of them will curse me. They will say a lot of things. That is their therapy. If you take it away from them, social media completely, there will be many people roaming the streets talking to themselves. But continue.
The same thing I saw with Sowore. Each time Sowore posts, I am always there to counter people. And it's not anything, King Kolo, as in just normal.
Just throw it at them as well. Like,
I did it up to a stage that Facebook had to restrict me. Now they have restricted me for 3 days again.
They will restrict you.
Meanwhile, someone is here insulting. Well, restrict €1 million. It's just crazy. Like, is it that people are so blind that they can't see? Don't suffer. It's just normal. Take a joke. Forget about who is talking. Listen to that message and just even if you don't like that person, you can't like anybody. You can't like you can't like everybody. You can only like some people. But if you are sensible enough, if you know what you are doing, if you listen to what people say, then you can use that and work with. Forget about who is talking. All these that they call politicians in Nigeria, it's not as if there are some things that you as Maiyegun, you say on your platform that from them, what they say, what they talk about, only senses kan tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa ń mú jáde. Ó lè yẹ pé ẹni tó ń sọ olórí ibú ni o. But you sometimes there are some references that you bring out from what they say. That is how you learn. As if you keep counting.
Exactly. Like, we'll be like, not that I like this person, but if you could say that, I love that message. And I can tell people that, listen, that person is part of them, but he said this. And if he could say that, it means if we are saying the same way, right? And very soon we'll be on the same. Yeah, I agree with you.
That is to show that person has a sense of reasoning. Maybe just acting the way because of his own benefit or whatsoever thing he wants to benefit from it. So I just sat down, look on, and say, when if it's this kind of people, I don't think that place will be anyway the best out at all. I was talking to a thing one Igbo girl like that. She's been my friend for a long time. I was like, I just met her not too long, like on social media. Last party, it's been like more than 15 years. Wow. And now met her. Jennifer, on social media, I was talking. So I was just asking her, say, Biafra, no, I'm not Biafra. I was from one B question. The same thing people have been saying, like, how can someone sit down abroad and be more? I was talking to her the way she does, because we exchange number, of course, from okay, double she cut it, you go me, those
are the people still live in denial.
I'm telling you, like she don't even want to listen to that. I was talking to her, trying to, bring her close. I have kids. With my kids right now, when you only kids, you are going to have kids. You see, Maiyegun, go back to
I'm a call on Lauren last week because you see, all right, time here, right? You just get to a point you feel like, what's gonna? Can these people get out of this at all? Then you are like, I don't know, but there will be a way out. You see, when you listen to that video that I played earlier, where those guys are in Abuja, you will realize that at least some of them, not all of them are like that. Ameda, thank you so much.
Of course.
Tonight, okay?
No problem now, Maiyegun. No Allah now.
Oh, sorry. I think, I've got
hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm going to try my best to be composed tonight.
You know, one thing is this, right? Just let it out, because I know you. That if I could have a chance, I would have you feature on Maiyegun's Diary Politico every night, right? So every time we have a chance of having you on, there's just so many things you want to say, and I know that. So just let them out as time permits, okay? And let's manage the time as well, sir. Okay? But for the sake of our listener, please tell them your name, please.
My name, I'm your brother.
You are.
From another, I'm happy to keep it like that.
Right. Let's
However,
please.
I'm so happy to see. First of all, I thank God for your health, for people of your generation, which are very close to my generation, to be doing what you are doing. What you and that guy Koiki is doing is wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm just. All these events are catching me in the lowest part of my life, and still enjoying it. But firstly, while I appreciate that we are all doing this, and people like Showore is there.
He is.
You and Koiki are doing what you're doing. Showore is there on the forefront of facing these monsters.
That's right.
Somehow, I think, there is something missing in us getting to those people who are the wasters of all this effort. The masses who just sell everything for the least of the penny because of hunger and poverty. And when you see people like Shanusi come in and talk about homogeneity, homogeneity. You don't have homogeneity in your family. I don't have homogeneity in my family. How can someone like that, of that level of supposed intelligence, come out to talk about homogeneity as the issue? It's an insult. I mean, it goes beyond belief that someone like that could come out on a national television and talk about homogeneity. We are talking about people having control over their resources, whereby there will be a system whereby a central government does not have control over how a region uses its resources to look after its people. End of story. What these people are doing is an insult. It's an insult to everything. And I don't understand what else we can do. I keep thinking about it, and while I love United Kingdom and the British government, personally, I do not see how having a remote access to education by a girl, by a female, or any individual who have been terrorized will supersede getting rid of the terrorism itself. I can't. It's beyond. I cannot understand it. I love United Kingdom. I live in UK. I love it. I like the way they respect.
There is a reason to love
individual.
the UK anyway.
Yeah, to respect individual. Whereby, why is it now that the same country cannot now see why we need to get all the fabrics of society in place first before looking after someone to study, get education in remote? And Maiyegun, I'm telling you, I really, really respect you so much.
Thank you.
And God will continue to bless you.
Amen.
God will continue to look after all of us.
Amen.
And I do respect the other guys that are doing other things as well. Yeah. And I see no reason why somehow we as Yorubas, as Igbos or whatever, we may think we are intelligent. Somehow there is a missing link somewhere. There's a missing link somewhere that needs to connect whatever we are saying to that common man that will make the least illiterate in the society. Everybody is educated, but there might be illiterate. But that will make them feel they are as important in the system as the people who are exactly as the people who are in the university or whatever. Somehow, somewhere, we need to make people understand what we are saying, because what you are doing is amazing. I cannot understand. I've done everything under my power to connect to people. Even the people you think are intelligent are living in Nigeria. When you connect with them, they are talking stupid. They are talking something else. They are talking. Can't you see? You try to break everything down to the nitty-gritty for them to just appreciate the little sentence that you've made. That way, I'm not the one making it. Listen to this guy's program. Watch it. Listen. You may think I'm the one making it. This is a younger man. Listen to him. He's been in Lagos. They've come back. They've gone to Lagos. They've come back. Exactly. They've come to Nigeria and come back and seen how the situation is. I can see Nigeria deeply. Maybe seeing it deeply even is the problem. But Farotimi guy is now understanding and making his position clearer. Everybody is now coming. We are converging. We are all converging very soon.
Thank you so much,
sir. The real thing. Because, sorry to take the time.
No,
thank you very much for having me.
No time spent with you is lost. We do appreciate that. But thank you so much for tonight.
I really, really appreciate you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
I enjoyed it so much. I also look at the comments of your people in the live chat.
Okay.
Let anyone who likes Maiyegun should forward it to all his friends. The ones that agree with you and the ones that do not agree with you. Just forward it to them. That's the main thing we need.
We do.
At this time. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. God bless. Thank you so much. I have another caller. We are coming close to the end of the program, by the way. But you know what? I am off for another few days. So I have a lot of time I can spend with you. Everyone. Hello there.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening. Princess, yeah?
Yes, Baba. How are you? How you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good.
Good one, ma'am. So now you're live.
Yeah, my good people should not get carried away with Sanusi's drama.
Of course.
When you talk about homogeneity, are we the same? Do we have the same culture? Do we have the same religion? Probably the same religion. You might be a fanatic and I might just be the normal religious type of person. Yeah. So what's he talking about? People should not get carried away with that. So, they think we don't know. They think we don't know what they're planning. The president's speech is something, yeah. His body language is something else.
That's right.
Why can't he just take responsibilities over the death of the people that have been killed by his kingsmen?
A big question.
The this president talked about the role he played in all of this. Are we in 1800, Maiyegun?
I do ask myself, ma.
This is what I keep telling people. You cannot see my parents, yeah?
Yep.
Were very over, especially my father. My mother, I had a very sweet mother.
Lovely.
But my father schooled in Memphis. So he will always, bring the younger generation, whatever it is you're doing at the moment, he just tries to put himself in your shoes and he will think in and reason like you. That's the way my father thinks.
And that's how to understand
people. You cannot
people.
come with your mentality of 1930. This is 21st century. We don't do that no more.
We do that no more.
If you're taking me somewhere, Jackie, if I don't want to go to that direction, then I'm not going. You can, the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. Are you talking to slaves? Are you now the slave master? Can't I decide what I want for myself? If what you're bringing to the table is not right, then I'm not taking it.
That's right.
Almost sponsor Boko, almost sponsor Sunday Bolo, my auto sponsor. Almost sponsor Namdi Kanu. You were able to come on national television to say that. Oh, she must sponsor Bandits, even when other countries were able to say these things out. Dubai was able to bring up names, and Nigeria has been very quiet about it. The people asking for self-determination, what led to it? Have you been able to engage these people? Do people want this kind of government? No, they don't want it.
They don't.
We are not in the ancient world. If Buhari should like, it should be ancient of days. In the ancient time, this is 2021.
Abi?
You have to sit in. You banned Twitter for almost 4 months. The same president said there is no opening, even in local government. Any government parastatal, there's no opening for jobs for the youth. Majority of this youth work on this social media platform. And you shut them out of business.
Because he doesn't care.
Who does that?
Only a cold-hearted, retired May guard is likely going to do that. And only one person can.
When you see people coming out to protest, that your PTSD just kicking. They are trying to overthrow me. If you are doing the right thing, you won't be scared.
I think so.
If you're doing the right thing, you won't be scared of somebody coming on the street. Please overtaking what? Okay, after in Nigeria with that said, let us take it away. We don't want any more.
Maybe I even change the name to Nigeristan. I mean, we can. Some people won't go there for holiday. They can go there.
How is that? How is this difficult to say? Allah, Shemo. We know they do again. Carry the thing. Carry them over. Carry and go. Anybody coming in, if there is any protest, you just shoot at them. Who does that? What kind of concentration camp? Take the country. We don't want any more. Emma Mulo. Yeah? If they think election is coming up, I want to pass you a Julian Popo. Don't pay any president. One
Every party, princess. Every party, be talking to Mr. President. We'll see you again, sir.
Oh, don't share any. Tell about it. When you see people that can't stand with the truth, don't say you run now. You know what I'm doing? Yeah, when people tell you things you want to hear, you know, they must study away your dada mama. You got away your family. Okay, violence, your best. And you come at TP, say violence, mama shake. You tell us go away, your best of you. But is it the truth?
Of course. Kò tí ẹ̀ ń ṣe ẹni tó ń jẹ́ balógun tẹ́rù bàbá yìí òun ni kẹ́ wí o.
Ẹ̀rù bọ́mọ balógun ẹ̀rù bá wá.
Ẹ̀rù bá ń bà yìí kẹ́ wí o. Ẹ̀rù bọ́mọ balógun.
Béèyàn kan jẹ́ láti pààyàn kan sì kò lè pa everybody. Gbogbo nǹkan tí mo sọ ìlà àwọn ọmọ mi mọ̀. Àwọn ọmọ mi mọ̀ everything. I explain it to them. So tó bá ní nǹkan kan tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ tá àbáláyé gbára wálẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ wa máa gbára wálẹ̀. Ni mo sọ lálẹ́ yẹn.
Thank you, princess.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n máa continue it. They are not stopping. Good night, Jerry Baba.
And good night to you too. People have been asking for you. Where's Princess in the comment? Like magic, you just boom. And as usual, you never disappoint. Stay safe, ma. Okay. Nice talking to you. Stay safe. Bye. Yeah. Now, I think this is where I'm going to draw the curtain. It's good to stop on a very good note, though, right? They say it is good to stop when the ovation is loudest. I've spoken my mind. Some of my friends have called in to contribute their own minds. Many of you have continued to drop your own minds right there through the comments. Some of them I'm going to read. Now, do me a favor. Before you leave that broadcast on YouTube, okay? We were almost 2,000 earlier, right? And we could only get 700 people who said, Maiyegun, well done. See, I don't know how I regularly get a lot of people to watch Maiyegun, but many of you don't stay back to subscribe. You should try to. Takes just a click. Go on there and give me that thumb up. And I'm going to see you again, okay? Don't let anybody drag you. I'm trying to bring Omoyele Show over. We're trying to connect today, but I was at work. I'm going to give it a follow-up tomorrow. Join me again on Sunday for Sunday Sermon. And you are also going to join me for the prime time. If I manage to get Mr. President Omoyele Show, that's what I call him. You know what I mean? You know, if I have a chance of a system that actually work, right? If to say Nigeria was a country, right? A candidate like Omoyele Show, who I highlighted what he wanted to do, is somebody I can associate with. No joke. And that's why he's my friend. And he will always be a friend and a brother. So Showore will come around tomorrow if I manage to get him. So we're going to talk about a lot of things. Baba Alpha, Baba Show. It's been a while. We have seen a lot of things, all your regardity and the rest of that. How far? It's good to check. That's what I told him. I said, sure, we need to catch up. It's been a while. And he said, yeah, Maiyegun, we need to catch up. So I hope I get him on tomorrow and we can have a chat, So don't miss it. Subscribe on Maiyegun's Diary Politico and you will never regret doing so. It's so interesting on this platform. People said they are addicted. Some of you have told you don't even know that Maiyegun himself is addicted. Coming around here to talk to my friends is an addiction now. If when you think you are missing me, I am also missing you. But in order to keep together, right? Trust me, subscribe. I'm going to see you again. And good night to all of you. Nigeria is breakable and it go break. Now when? Be the question and it go be soon.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀.
èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù Maiyegun ti dé.